Hello everyone, welcome to Business School 101. In the market for smartphone operating systems, Apple's iOS and Google's Android jointly account for more than 90% of the market share. Similarly, in the realm of large commercial aircraft, Boeing and Airbus dominate the skies. These two scenarios are prime examples of an oligopoly, where a small number of dominant firms control market dynamics, pricing power, and competitive forces. So what is its definition and what are its characteristics? Are there any real-world examples? What are its influences on the market and consumers? In this video, I will discuss these questions with you. Section 1. Definition. An oligopoly is a market structure characterized by a small number of large firms that control the majority of the market share. These firms have significant market influence and can affect market conditions by altering prices, output, product characteristics, or other market strategies. Oligopoly lies between perfect competition and monopoly on the market structure spectrum, with fewer firms than in a perfectly competitive market but more than in a monopolistic market. Section 2. Characteristics. Generally, oligopoly markets share following features. Number 1. High market concentration. A few firms dominate the market, often measured by concentration ratios such as the CR4, the market share of the top 4 firms. Number 2. Interdependence. Firms in an oligopoly are interdependent. A decision by one firm can significantly impact the others, leading to strategic behavior and careful consideration of rivals' potential reactions. Number 3. Barriers to entry and exit. High barriers to entry, such as significant capital requirements, access to technology, or economies of scale, make it difficult for new firms to enter the market. Similarly, high exit costs can keep firms in the market even when they are not profitable. Number 4. Non-price competition. Oligopolistic firms often compete through non-price strategies such as product differentiation, advertising, and branding to attract consumers rather than engaging in price wars. Number 5. Price rigidity. Prices in an oligopoly market can be relatively stable due to an unspoken or explicit agreement among firms to avoid price competition, and consumers' perception of product differentiation. Section 3. Examples. Here are 4 real-world examples of oligopolies. Number 1. Semiconductor manufacturing. The semiconductor industry, particularly the manufacturing of microprocessors and memory chips, is a prime example of an oligopoly. A few key players, such as Intel, Samsung, and TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, dominate the market. These firms have made massive investments in research and development, as well as in manufacturing facilities, which require extremely high capital costs. Number 2. Social media platforms. The social media industry is another oligopolistic market, with platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn holding a significant share of the market. These platforms have network effects, where the value of the service increases as more people join and use the platform. This makes it difficult for new entrants to compete, as they struggle to attract a critical mass of users. Number 3. Pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry often exhibits oligopolistic characteristics, with a small number of large companies, such as Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and Merck, leading the market. These firms invest heavily in research and development to discover new drugs and treatments, which is a costly and time-consuming process. Patent protection for these drugs provides a temporary monopoly, allowing firms to recoup their investments and profit before generics enter the market. Number 4. Global beverage industry. The global beverage industry, particularly the soft drink sector, is characterized by an oligopoly. Companies like Coca-Cola and PepsiCo are the dominant players, with a strong global presence and significant market share. These firms engage in aggressive marketing campaigns and have established extensive distribution networks, making it difficult for smaller firms to compete. Section 4. Benefits. The oligopoly has a few benefits to the market. Number 1. Economies of scale. Oligopolistic firms often benefit from economies of scale, which means that as their production increases, the average cost per unit decreases. This can lead to lower prices for consumers, as firms pass on some of the cost savings. Number 2. Product innovation and quality. With fewer firms in the market, there is often more room for investment in research and development. This can lead to the creation of new and improved products, benefiting consumers through better quality and more choices. Number 3. Efficient use of resources. Oligopolies can lead to a more efficient allocation of resources, as large firms can coordinate production and distribution on a large scale, reducing waste and improving productivity. Number 4. Stability in prices and output. Oligopolistic markets can be more stable, as firms may avoid price wars and other destructive competitive practices. This can lead to more predictable prices and a steady supply of goods and services for consumers. Section 5. Costs of oligopoly. The major costs of the oligopoly market include following. Number 1. Higher prices. Oligopolistic firms may have the market power to set prices above competitive levels, particularly if there are significant barriers to entry. This can result in consumers paying more for goods and services than they would in a more competitive market. Number 2. Limited consumer choice. With fewer firms dominating the market, there may be less variety in products and services. This can limit consumer choice and potentially stifle innovation, as firms have less incentive to differentiate their offerings. Number 3. Barriers to entry. High entry barriers in oligopolistic markets can prevent new firms from entering the market, which can limit competition and innovation. This can also lead to a concentration of market power, potentially resulting in anti-competitive behavior. Number 4. Inefficient use of resources. While oligopolies can lead to efficient resource use on one hand, they can also result in inefficiencies due to market power. Firms may not have the same incentives to minimize costs and maximize output as they would in a more competitive environment. Number 5. Potential for collusion. In some cases, firms in an oligopoly may collude with each other, either explicitly or tacitly, to set prices or output levels that benefit the firms at the expense of consumers. This can lead to a reduction in consumer welfare and a misallocation of resources. Section 6. Summary. To sum up, an oligopoly is a market structure characterized by a small number of large firms that control the majority of the market share. While oligopolies can offer benefits such as economies of scale, innovation, and market stability, they also come with costs such as higher prices, limited consumer choice, and potential anti-competitive behavior. The overall impact on the market and consumers depends on the specific dynamics of the oligopolistic market and the presence of regulatory oversight to prevent harmful practices. Alright, that's all for today's topic. If you have any questions regarding this video, please leave your thoughts in a comment below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.